Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video we'll be exploring the 16 route between Silverknowes and Torfin. Now it's a route of two contrasts. Silverknowes is on the coastline and Torfin is up in the Pentland Hills, a very picturesque terminus. So let's get out there and explore the route. So here we are at Silverknowes with a plane heading into the airport. Wonder where that's come from. Now this is probably one of the most scenic bus terminal points that there is in Edinburgh. But the 16 also ends up at Torfin, which is in the middle of the Pentland Hills. So at the end of the video we'll see which one is the most picturesque. Here at Silverknowes or Torfin terminus. So we'll see some nice places along here, especially along the coastline, along that way towards Granton and Newhaven. But I'll have a look at the golf course along here, have a look at some of the boats. And here we are at the golf course, right beside the River Forth, and see an oil tanker out there heading for Grangemouth. The coastline in the distance is the Kingdom of Fife. As we pan round, we'll see the bus terminus there, and the 27 in for Interstriced and the 37 in for Pennycook. Now the city centre is just 3 miles in that direction. What other city did you get this just 3 miles out? Not many. We now come to the old Granton Gasworks. Looks like they're doing some work to it. This is a listed building and they're not allowed to touch that cylinder. Now we have over here the old Gasworks station, which is now someone's house, a block of flats. There's a Morrison's store across the road, and that has a picture of the station in use with a steam train sitting in the station. So if you want to see that picture, go into Morrison's, and this has all been completely transformed around here. There's a nice walk that you can take. There's the old station, and then up to the right there's a nice walk that you can take into the city centre. We'll have a look a bit more of the coastline. And here we are down at Granton Harbour. This harbour is used mostly for fishing. There's a fishing area in between here and Fife. They catch all different kinds of fish. The sea today is like a turquoisey colour. It's very rare you see it like this here in Edinburgh. Usually cloudy or rainy. So we'll have a closer look at the breakwater that's over here. This long footpath right out. It's nice to see out there. There's also a beach. Have a picnic there. Now this is, you can see all of this on the 16 bus route. And here is Granton Square, just round the corner from Granton Harbour. Number 19 bus is sitting right there, along with the 16. And there is the 16 that we're filming, all the way to Torfin. That's where I'm going to take it. Just along a bit from the Granton Harbour is these colourful houses, and look at the view that they have right out to sea. Now imagine living in those houses and looking out to that. You would think that we were in Spain or Portugal or France, but no, we're in Scotland, Edinburgh in fact. Let's have a look at this breakwater. So here we are on the breakwater. If you want to walk along here you can do, but be very careful because it's very uneven and you're fully exposed. There is nothing to hold on to, there's no fence or railing. It's very dangerous. Bringing your children, make sure you hold on to them, or else you'll fall in. There's where we were at Granton Harbour. And we'll have a look at over here where we can see Western Harbour. That's Western Harbour, there's Granton Harbour. Now when it's stormy you get big waves coming right over the breakwater and they make big splashes. Now you can see right across to the Kingdom of Fife and the coastline over there, which is also nice to visit, and definitely recommend a journey across to Dalgety Bay, Inverkeithing, and right along the coastline to Aberdour and Kirkcaldy. You can look back this way. Number 7 bus does that from Dunfermline. So if you've got a free day, definitely get that route. I'll try and film that sometime. So we've come to Newhaven now, down at the harbour. There's the boats over there, but there's some information here about Newhaven Harbour. To the west of Leith, Newhaven had a traditional harbour and fish market. In 1835, an average of 20 million oysters per year were exported from Newhaven alone, and 1.7 million sold for consumption in Edinburgh. So, working port. Along the bottom here it gives some things to look out for. It mentions a lighthouse. Let's see if we can see a lighthouse. Oh, there's a lighthouse. We'll go and have a closer look at that in a moment. Boats. There's boats in the harbour. Oh, there's some. And the old fish market. That was very smelly at one time. And there's the fish market. So we'll have a closer look at some of those things. And there's a little map there of what to look out for. All about the fishing port and lots of other information too. So we'll have a closer look at the lighthouse. There's some very nice boats down here. Each of them has a name. Bobbing up and down. Let's go to that lighthouse. And here we are right at the Newhaven lighthouse. It's nice to look at, and you're looking out towards the River Forth across to Fife, just a bit further along the coastline. Now there's Newhaven from where we were. Interestingly enough, that building that used to be a church is now a children's play area. They're called Alien Rock. I think there's possibly more goes there each day than what used to go to the church. Imagine this at sunset. The River Forth would be golden. Imagine that. So that would be a good time to come at sunset. When you come, you can plan your visit at sunset. There's a hotel right there, Premier Inn. You can get a room facing out this way, and see a sunset in an evening, or you can get a room facing the other way, get the sunrise in the morning. The River Forth is tidal, and you can, oh, there's me, hello me, you can see the tide coming in. Now way over there you might just be able to make it out. You can just see the Forth bridges. There's the rail bridge and the road bridge. Way over there. And there, the hills you can see in the distance is the hills of Perth and Kinross. Normally you can't see them, but today you can. A good view. You listen to the tide lapping against the coastline. Let's now continue along this coastline and see what's going on with these cranes. Looks like they're building something. Could stand here all day. So we're a bit nearer the cranes now and see what they're building. Looks like they're building a pier or a ferry terminal. Now, speaking of ferries, the big cruise liner has come in. The Viking has had to dock out at sea, and these little orange boats go back and forth to the shore to drop the passengers off. It's too shallow out at the harbour in Newhaven for the big ferry, the cruise liner, to come in. It would run aground. You can just make out Port Edgar there. So let's head a bit further along the coastline, along the 16 route. Now have a look at another police box. I've seen some police boxes in the videos so far, so we'll see some more. There's where is it now? There it is. Into the cruise ship. And there's another boat of some kind over there. There it is. So plenty of action out here today. Right, let's go and visit the old police box. So we're here at one of the police boxes for Newhaven, just at the lighthouse. The old police boxes were used before traffic lights. The police controlled the traffic, so this junction was controlled by the man in the police box. We've come slightly inland now. We've come to the shore. I've come across this interesting piece of information, the vaults. Behind this wall, used to be a big factory called the Vaults. Well, 1682. This oldest warehouse, wine cellars pre-1587. So there's a lot of history along the 16 bus route, if you want to see it. Even the streets are cobbled around here. So it's definitely a place to visit Leith. We're now at the foot of Leith Walk, where the tram line goes between Leith and Edinburgh, and a good place to eat at Wetherspoons, family friendly pub. They're the best Wetherspoons in Edinburgh. So here at the foot of the walk there's a very unusual bookshop, and if there's ever a book that you've been looking for a long time, it could very well be in that shop. Enjoy building robots, there's a place, and Leith Waterworld. Leith Walk has become very European. The tram line, the cycleway and the footpath all in the same area. That's a very interesting shop, the Edinburgh Collectibles. Anything to do with Edinburgh that's worth collecting is in there. So have a look in there if that's the kind of thing that you like. And here's the central depot for Lothian buses at Annandale Street. 16 is stored here overnight. There's 2 other depots in the city, plus one in Livingston and one Musselburgh and North Berwick. At the top of Leith Walk is the Playhouse. You come and watch a show and have a nice meal in Cosmo, just beside it. So there's lots of nice places to see around here, bars and things to eat. Princess Street is up that way to the right. We're outside the Omni Centre and a pair of giraffes have appeared. These giraffes are man-made and were made in the 1990s. There's a good hotel over there, Holiday Inn, fairly central, the tram passes along with the 16 bus. Lots of places to eat in here. Here's Leith Street looking up to Princess Street to the right. An alternative to Waverley Station's down here. Not many people know about that. Piano playing in Waverley. There's the Scott Monument. A monument dedicated to Sir Walter Scott. Let's go climb it. Some information before you go up. It's open daily from 10. Offer a guided experience. Costs £8. Concession £6. Only 12 people maximum allowed at once. The Scott Monument is 61 metres high. There's level 1 looking towards the station, out towards the Royal Mile, Arthur's Seat and North Bridge. Here's Princess Street. And out to the gardens. It's up towards St Andrew's Square. We're very top now of the monument. You can see Princess Street, Carstorphine Hill, towards St Andrew's Square. The Granton Gasworks that we're looking at. You can just make out the River Forth. Looking across the Leith. So that's us back down in the ground. If you want to go up, it's a good view, but the stairs are incredibly narrow and very thin steps. So just be aware of that when you, more when you're coming down. But there's a good view up there. Definitely recommend that. Right, let's head to our next place that the 16 goes to, and that's Lothian Road. We're now on Lothian Road, and the hotel here used to be a train station and it was called Princess Street West Station. We have now arrived in Morningside, and a good place to eat is here at the Merlin. A good variety of food that's on offer in there. So have a look further down Morningside Road. Just beside the Merlin is the Morningside Library, a fine place with books and a sit down. There's one of the old police boxes being used as a small takeaway cafe. It does hot dogs, which is very nice. We now come to the junction of Olcara Street at Morningside. Now the iconic Morningside clock. But also over here is, over this wall, is the South Suburban Railway line. This used to be a passenger line until the 1960s. Dr. Beechin, the Beechin catch, is now used as a freight line. We've come to Greenbank Crescent, not a part of the city that's all that well known. You get a good look at the Pentland Hills here, the south facing part of the hills, and that's where we're heading for, up into Torfin Hill. So we'll visit Oxgangs and Collington and then on to Torfin. Now here in Oxgangs you start to climb up the hill a bit more and you start to get a good view of the city. As we head further out towards Torfin, you get a better view of the city up there. We've got an Aldi and another library. We're now in Collington, one of Edinburgh's oldest part of the cities, and there's some bits of information here about its past. It goes right back to 1560, the Reformation, a new church governance, parish schools being established. And there is the 16. Now, in 1650, Cromwell's army invaded as Roundheads burnt Collington Castle. It's interesting. And 1600 to 1900, baronial estates shaped village life. Influential landowners were the main employers. Dreghorn Castle, which I don't think is around anymore. Moving further along, some information about the Collington Public Art Project. Now there's the number 45. The trysting place. Stand here for a moment. Let's linger right here. We're being interrupted by the 45 bus. How rude of it. Let's start this bit again. Stand here for a moment. Let's linger right here. This point where centuries meet. Let's consider this place over 900 years and imagine who walks down the street. Imagine the different kind of people that there was. A preacher, a baron, a baker, a prince, a teacher, a mother of three. Three? I thought they'd have more than three. Here we shall meet and remember the past. Robert Louis Stevenson, from Keepsake Mill, Child's Garden of Verses. Some are still here, some departed long since, from this dell between Pentlands and sea. A painter, a poet, teller of tales. Do you recognise that famous face? A herdsman from Dreghorn, a miller from Hales, Meet them all in this old trysting place. So, here's the main Colinton village. Just imagine the horse and carts going back and forth, and wee Rabbie Burns singing his poetry. 1790 to 1930, industry came to Colinton. In 2023, Paul came to Colinton. 1800 to 1900, the village grew and commuting began. The train arrived. Wealthy newcomers built fine houses. The train arrived, but it's disappeared again. 1870 to 1900, local campaign to enhance living conditions, better sanitisation and general health improvement. I just noticed we're going back in time. 1800 to 1930, immigration created new Colintons worldwide. Homesickness problem. 1912, the army came to Colinton. In the 1920s, Colinton made a suburb of Edinburgh. Trams came, but the village stayed a leafy place. There we go. And that is a Colinton timeline. In Colinton there's Spylaw Park, which forms part of the Waterleith Walkway. That's for a future video. We'll explore that in another video. And we've now reached the far end of the 16 bus route up Torfin Hill. We've covered all the way from the seafront at Silvanhouse up into the hills of Torfin and the Pentland Hills. We'll have a walk up here and have a look at the view across the city. And I think you might enjoy it. So let's have a walk. Now we've only come a little bit up so far and already you can see a bit of the Edinburgh skyline. There's the castle and that pointy bit sticking up way over there. That's the Scott Monument that we climbed up. So we can keep going a bit further up here, up this hill, and you'll see a better view further up. Here you get a great view across the west of the city. Now, the white bridge that you see there, that's the Queen's Ferry crossing. That links Edinburgh with Fife. So if you're travelling by road, that's what you'll see. Now, you can just make out an aeroplane there coming into the airport. The smaller red bridge, there's the 3 spans of the red bridges that you can see. That's the 4th rail bridge. That was built in the 1800s. And that links Fife with Edinburgh by train. The hills you can see in the background are the hills of Perthshire and Stirlingshire and the start of the Highlands. There's lots to see up here. Now here you can get a great view across the city. This is looking into West Lothian out towards Livingston direction. You just make out the wind turbines in the distance. Then we head across into Edinburgh. You can see the houses of the Wester Hales areas, Sight Hill, the bridges in the distance, the 4th bridges. You can only see 2 of them, 2 of the bridges there. Maybe on the one. Just make out 2. There's actually 3. There's a 4th road bridge in between. That's the bridge that the buses use between Edinburgh and Fife. And we head along the River Forth, we come across Corstorphine Hill, big housing estate up that way. The zoo, that's that big piece of land where the houses are that go up the hill on the left, and the greyish building. The land in between, that's the zoo, for Surfing Hill. And then as we head into the city, the faraway coastline, where the 16 goes, it comes all the way out here. Lothian's longest route that stays within the city. 90 minutes plus from end to end. You just make out Edinburgh Castle, the Scott Monument. We are now higher than what we were when we climbed the Scott Monument earlier on. So there we have it. The full route, Silverhouse to Torfin. Which part did you enjoy most? Don't forget to comment down below your most favourite part of the route that you enjoyed. And also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to. And tell a friend to tell a friend. Imagine living here. If you saw a deer, it would not fill you with fear. Well, hopefully you enjoyed watching that. That was a most enjoyable video to film. Great weather, never rained once, great views, right across the River Forth, right to Fife. So to see more, don't forget to subscribe, and you'll see even more videos. The next one we'll be doing will be part 2 of the Water of Leith. We did part 1 a while back. Don't forget to head across to the Family Fun Pack channel for lots of family fun and a recent visit to the dentist. Oh, the dentist. I suppose everyone's got to go at some point. Oh. Anyway, so that's that. So until next time, that's Paul for now.